So in my decade-old uh, sadhana life, it is more than a decade old now. Sadhana life, I have sometimes come across certain people whom, at the first glance, I feel that this person has great potential for sadhana. Okay, that person's enthusiasm, that person's depth of knowledge, that person's inquisitiveness, his or her uh, grittiness, okay, all of that, you feel really attracted to those qualities, because here you look at this person and feel that this person has the seed to become a great sadhak one day, that this person will be relentless in his or her path to embark upon a fantastic spiritual journey, and in a few months you realize that that everything has just fizzled out. This person may have taken up a sadhana and in between has kind of left it, or this person came across as somebody who could do a great job in terms of their spiritual disciplines, but somehow they have not been able to keep up with those disciplines, etc. On the other hand, you look at people and you feel that this person is so simple, perhaps has not many questions, but has listened properly and has got a very simple life, in the sense not too many books has been read by that person, or not too much of exploration that the person has done, and they may not have great in-depth knowledge about spiritual sadhanas, and has been able to be doggedly keeping up a sadhana, in the sense, these people whom you may not think that has potential, or superficially you are not able to see that that person has potential, but that person has a great potential. It turns out to be that this person is rigorous, tenacious, regular, disciplined, and takes a also innovates, pushes the envelope, all of that. Now, I have been wondering what could be the case, like what is it, this thing that a person who seems to have a great potential but doesn't seem to be carrying it through, and on the other hand, a person who has simple demeanor is the person who has been able to carry through a sadhana. In my observation, and whatever I know through my spiritual disciplines, my practices and my studies, I don't know whether I'm wrong or right, but this is what my observation is, or my analysis is. My analysis is that many people carry deep karmic burdens on them. To remove or to ease out of those karmic burdens itself takes a lot of time. The whole thing about spirituality is that spiritual exercises or disciplines is supposed to chip away your karmic burdens, your rinanubandhas, your baggages that you have come with. Let us all understand that this life is your prarabdha. You have a motherboard of karma. This life is your prarabdha, and this prarabdha is what you are living at this moment. So people may have people with complex personalities, people with uh, complicated lives, people with perhaps deeper sensitivities, and that's their personalities, okay, may come across with as some may come across as people who can have a great potential because their sensitivity is good, their sensibilities are good, they're able to absorb, adopt, and so on and so forth, but they may not be able to carry through because of the complexities of their lives. And these complexities of their lives are basically their prarabdhas, which is kind of tying them down and pulling them down with the heavy mother load of karmas that they have on their shoulders, because of which there is a good amount of tamas which has been created. Tamas here means inertia, because of which they are not being able to carry through their spiritual sadhanas. It could be as simple as just getting bored of it. Okay, so that is one case. On the other hand, people with simpler personalities, with not too much of complications, not necessarily having great in-depth knowledge, etc., and maybe those kind of personalities who are sensitive perhaps, but not necessarily too reactive to things, and those are the people who have slightly easy personalities or easy lifestyle. Now those kind of people are quick to adapt and sustain. One of the greatest things about sadhana is sustenance, and these people with non-complex personalities I have seen are those people who have been able to sustain through the sadhanas. I will also put a caveat over here, is that there are many people having traumatic life experiences, which becomes, we can equate that to becoming complex personalities and complexities of their lives, complications in their lives. Those traumatic experiences but paves their way to come directly in contact with certain spiritual energies and forces, and then there is magic with them. There are people like this also. So perhaps that little karmic baggage, the karmic luggage that they are carrying with them, the burden of it, with this fast traumatic experiences, kind of not just chipping away but removing blockades. Okay, even that kind of thing happens. So it's not there is no thumb rule, I must say, but this has been by and large my observation, that people with whom you feel that can have great potential, or people whom you feel that has kind of resonated very beautifully, and you've probably struck a fantastic conversation with that person, and but that person was unable to go through. But I will come to the sustenance part. The sustenance in a sadhana is something that is of great importance. There will be time when there will be no magic. There will be time when it will be just a process. There will be a time when there will be just a plateau. There will be time when you will not feel any connection, any resonance, any anything interesting, or rather nothing interesting. And there will be deep boredoms, and that is the time when you still have to sustain through, because 2 plus 2 will always be 4. So therefore trust the process. Trusting the process is therefore important. I will keep everything else aside. Devotion, emotional connects, resonance, all of that. If you consider somebody who has given you a particular sadhana, forget trusting that person. Whether that person has achieved anything or not, it doesn't matter. But that person, if that person has given that to you in positivity, or if you have read a book, or if you have come across a simple process, or if you have seen that there is a particular process being done, or if your guru has also given you something to do or has guided you in certain manner, and if you see that there is absolutely no vested interest coming out of it, and if this you feel at the beginning point was interesting, then don't jump from one process to the other. Don't, because sadhana life, spiritual journeys are not about getting results in overnight. It is only when you keep on building your spiritual muscles, that is the time when you will start seeing the results. One more thing, you may not see the result in this lifetime. So just trust the process. Trust the process, because 2 plus 2, as I said to you, if I do, it will be 2, it will be 4. If you do, it will be 4. If anybody else does who has absolutely no knowledge of math, then also it will be 4. Even if my cat does, it will be 4. So therefore, it's the process that is important. So trust the process and sustain your sadhanas. Don't leave things in the middle. Add layers. Keep improving. Evolve. And once you evolve, again go back to the roots. Again you evolve, again go back to the roots. Just check whether you have a plant and you've kept that in a bottle or in a glass or in a tumbler. You go on checking, right? Whether the water has come down. Then again you put some water in it. Again the water has come down, you put some water in it. So you keep on checking your roots, how strong your roots are. Okay, so this is my message today. I felt that I should talk about it because through experience I found out that I felt that a particular person or a particular I found that a particular person has great potential in sadhana, and in the next in the same space I found that the other person was absolutely uninterested, or rather not asking too many questions, and was not too much inquisitive, and was a simple uncomplex person. And I found out that the uncomplex person was the person who actually went on to do his or her sadhana better than somebody who showed great potential. But this message is not to disappoint anyone. This message is to knock on your heads, and so that you can wake up and see that if something like this is happening with you, then it's time for trusting the process and sustaining that process. I hope this helps. Om Namah Shivaya.